George Foster.
Well, I really wanted the walk-up music be Marvin Gaye, but let's get it on. But good evening. Dilly dilly. But I wanted to say that if Obama was still a president, I wouldn't be last. But I appreciate the attendance here today because I have an attendance clause in my contract. But I want to start off by saying, every life has a story to tell, and every story has a lesson to learn. But I'm not here to talk about myself tonight, talk about my MVP in 1977, or my 5-time All-Star appearance, or the 2 World Series championship, nor the 50 home runs I hit in one season, which was the 11th in Major League history. No, I'm not here to talk about myself. But I am here to talk about my life coach. Everybody here, in some way, shape, or form, has been a life coach. You may not realize it. And my life coach was my mom. My mom was my #1 fan. She was at every game. Matter of fact, when you had seen the Little League picture, my uniform was always clean and pressed. And I was impressed because the other kids' uniform always dirty and wrinkled. So I was always styling out there from a young age. But I owe that to my mom, and then she's always saying to me, keep that balance between sports and academics. But being able to go out there and strive for excellence, and not for perfection. Don't go out there thinking that you're the best, but always strive to do your best when you're out there. So when I got drafted by the Giants in '68, my mom was so excited because she knew that was my dream to play Major League Baseball. And so I got that opportunity in '68, signing with the Giants in Medford, Oregon. And then my second year, I went to Fresno, California. What was great about Fresno, because it was close to home in LA, and my mom could drive up and have those home-cooked meals, like fried okra, macaroni and cheese, fried chicken. So that was baseball food. When I go out to the baseball field, I pity the pitcher because I'm gonna dominate that particular day. So now, into '69, I got called up to the Major League Club, which, I was ready to go home and hang out with the guys and talk about my year in Fresno, because if I stayed there, I knew I would have led the league in RBIs because I was leading at the time. So now the Giants called me up and said, they spoiled my party. I want to, my second year, I could win the RBI crown. Because my brother instilled in me, said, the most important thing when you're as a hitter is to drive in the runs. And I always wanted to drive in RBIs. I patterned myself after Tony Perez. As you know, they called him the dog. And I love getting up with bases loaded or men in scoring position when the game's on the line. So now I get called up to the Giants. And of course, the first person I called, my mom. She said, well, it's a start. Getting an opportunity to play with the Giants, play alongside your idol, Willie Mays. And so at the time, it was overwhelming. It's like Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Jim Ray Hart, Warren Marshall, Bobby Bonds. The list of stars go on. And here I am, first year up, not knowing really anybody. So the end of that year, I went to AAA, which is Phoenix, Arizona. Had a good year there. And then in '71, I made it up to the Major League from the beginning, spring training. And the first month, wow, we're in first place. I said, first place, my first year, we're in first place. We're going to be in the World Series. We're going to be, that's before, Tigers, '68 Tigers. But they don't count because it's not really the Major League, the American League. It's not Major League. So there's nobody here to rebut what I'm saying because I'm the last one. So anyway, I'm feeling that, well, I'm on top of the world, and going to be in the World Series my first year, and then I wasn't playing this particular day. I think it was around Memorial Day, and my roommate, saying, "You've been traded, roomie," and I said, well, "This is not April 1st, so what is this a joke?" So I stayed in the dugout till I thought everybody had left, feeling that, well, if it's true, they would come looking for me. If not, I'm safe. So when the clubhouse guy said, "Well, the manager want to see you," and I knew then and there, I said, "Yeah, I have been traded." So the manager said, "Well, if it make you feel any better, we got 2 guys for you." But I'm looking at, they say no crying in baseball, but I couldn't help it. The tears started to flow because, like I say, my first year in the major leagues and playing on a regular basis and playing alongside my idol Willie Mays and getting a chance to meet Bobby Bonds. And, of course, Bobby Bonds, the dad of Barry Bonds. So now I go to Cincinnati, come to Cincinnati, and they're in last place. And one day I went from first place to last place. But once again, the first person I called was my mom. She said, don't fear change, embrace it. So it took a while for me to get acclimated to the Reds, but the weather was great. I always loved playing in warm weather. But finally I got acclimated with the Reds, got a chance to play. And 72, as many of you remember, I got a chance to score a winning run. So that was a highlight for me that particular year. And for the first 4 or 5 games, 4 or 5 seasons, you see when the Reds would come on, George Foster crosses home plate, scoring a winning run. So I was popular in Cincinnati. I go to a restaurant to give me free food. I said I should have gone to a car dealership. Maybe give me free. But so now in 72, I didn't play. I wasn't playing as much. So the spring training of 73, I was sent down to AAA. That was devastating. I made it to the major leagues, and I'm feeling that, well, maybe this is the end. But it was my dream to play Major League Ball. I didn't say how long. So now I get sent down to AAA, and I was wanting to quit the game. Well, once again, my mom instilled in me saying that this is what you want to do. Baseball is your dream. And success only comes to one who's not going to quit. So I went down to AAA, got a chance to play every day, and I got a chance to meet I would say the best roommate I ever had, Ken Griffey Sr. And he taught me how to enjoy the game. And I tell people in life itself, the foundation to whatever you do, you got to enjoy it. You got to have that passion. And because I see these guys out there laughing. I mean, they just struck out or made an error. They're laughing. I'm like, what's going on here? You got to be serious about it. I was too serious about the game. If I struck out and they laughed, I'm ready to fight. Because I had taken martial arts, so I quit for that. So after 73, the Reds called me up, and it's like I get another chance, get another opportunity. So I played part-time or platoon in 73. Then in 74, I was platooned a lot, and I started getting better and better. I went to Dominican Republic to play to improve my skills. And for a while in Dominican, I never did say anything, so they thought I was Jamaican. So I said, that's fine. They think I'm a foreigner. I won't say anything. So he must be Jamaican, man. So now I come back. I'm starting to try to emulate Tony Perez's swing, the doggy getting up in there. And I said, well, I want to embellish it a little bit. He gets base hits to right field, but I want to hit line drives because there are people in right field want souvenirs too. So I want to hit it out there. So in 75, once again, it's in the month of May. Like I traded in 71 in May, so now in 75 in May, I'm playing probably, like a pitcher, every 4th day. Pitchers are not athletes, they can't play every day. So but I'm glad John Warden's not here. He's probably out down having a hot dog, but. So in 75, I'm not playing every day, but I'm batting 8th in the lineup, but I'm leading the team in home runs. Like, many of you know about the Jerry curl. I had a Jerry curl, so But today, in today's game, you know, I would really be upset when they throw Gatorade on my Jerry curl. I just paid $65 to have it done. That'd be another fight right there. So I'm in the dugout and have my Jerry curl and have my hat off, have my baseball food, sunflower seeds, and somebody said, "Is that Billy D. Williams? Is he wearing George Foster's uniform?" No, that's not him. Oh, he looks like him. Yeah, like Jerry Curry, looking smooth out there. So Sparky calls me into the office and said, you know, well, a lot of jobs were on the line because the Dodgers were in first place. There's like 7 games in first place, and now, you know, they're looking for some magic, some strategy. So they moved Pete to third, and Sparky said, we're going to give you a chance to play every day playing left field. I said, fine, you know, calmly, fine. But really, I said, every day? I got to play every day? It's hot out there playing every day. My Jerry curl cannot take that heat. So I went out there reluctantly and played, you know, playing against the Atlanta Braves. I think I went 2 for 4, a couple of home runs, a couple of RBIs, you know, dilly. So the next 50 games, listen up here, the next 50 games, we win 41 out of 50. Who made the difference? That question is, I haven't really found an answer to it. So I asked people, I said, what was the difference? Was it my going into the lineup or my going into the lineup? So they said, well, it wasn't because Pete moved to third, because I gave him the sundown to lead left field. So I went to left field, and the big red machine started to go out and dominate. And, of course, it went to the World Series that year. We won it. So now 76 come around, and I get to start from the beginning. And so I had a great year going. I'm thinking that, oh, I'm going to be the MVP, yeah. I get to get up there and get a trophy, and maybe they'll give me a car for a couple of years, you know, a Corvette or something that goes real fast, a red one like Pete did have. So now at the end of the season, it was bittersweet because a teammate won the MVP and I didn't win it. And I was a little bit upset. Then my mom said, you know, sometimes you want something in life. Well, more so, focus on the things you can control. You can't control the voting. You can't control what did transpire. But what you can control, next year, go out there and do even better. So as it turned out, I end up hitting, they call it in the across the tracks, 52 home runs. So I hit 52. But in Kentucky, they say 52 home run. So I had 52 home runs that year, led the league in RBIs, home run, total bases, runs scored, all that. So many things to remember what I had done that year. So they, of course, they gave me the MVP that year. But the thing about it, like in John's case, he didn't know that he had the record as far as winning, relief pitcher winning the first 3 games. And I didn't know, well, I knew that the fact that usually you don't select the MVP from a team that did not win. So in 77, we didn't win, the Dodgers won. So I got the MVP even though it wasn't a winning team, because usually go to a team that's winning because they feel that that guy was instrumental. He was the most valuable because he was instrumental in helping his team win. But that year is like, I led the world and everything, so they had, because I knew Spanish even in Dominican, that Foster, muy bien, 52 home runs, bigger home runs. Oh, that was in Japan, bigger home run. So now I get traded. I go to the Mets after, well, in 81, I go to the Mets. Then when I got released in 86, then that was, of course, the end as far as my career was concerned. August, I got released, and then in September, my mom passed away. But I got a chance to talk to her in August, and she said, now it's up to you to pass the torch. That the things that I instilled in you, now it's important for you to instill in the kids. And I said, okay, now you got to be that life coach for them. So I coached high school, coached college, summer league ball, and to this day I'm coaching a 14U team, and it's great to see these kids out there learning things. And in the beginning they're like, listen to me like, what do you know about baseball? And then, but the other funny thing, I was in, they have a program in Vero Beach, and some of these, keep telling the coaches that we need some bios to pass out to these kids so they know who we are, and so that they just think, oh, what's this guy? He's just out here. Let's give him a courtesy and listen to him. So this kid, I said, where are you from? He said, well, I'm from Cincinnati. I said, who was your favorite player? He said, George Foster. And I said, I'm standing right here. But at first he said, did you play? I said, yeah, I played a little bit. I said, I played. He said, how much a little bit? Maybe 18 years, a little bit. He said, that's more than a little bit. I said, what's your name? And I told him my name, and he's like, wow, you're my favorite player, and I didn't even know who you were. But that's why I tell the coaches that we need to have something to pass out to these kids. So, but back to my 14U team, we got some guys that can play, and being able to instill, letting them know how good they are. Because a lot of times you don't know how good you are. And Willie Mays or my mom, my brother, they would tell you, hey, you're pretty good, you're pretty fast, you have a good arm. So you talk about the strength that the individual does have, because when I say, work with these kids, you're fast, or I want you to play center field because you can run down the ball. But a lot of times they just feel that, well, I'm just ordinary, because my first year in pro ball, it's like, I don't know how I would measure up with other kids from the nationwide. But I figure if I go out there and know the basics. I learned a lot of the basics in high school, knowing the situational play. Today's game, they don't know where to throw the ball. You see guys not tagging up with no outs, man, and the fly ball's hit. So it's like, what are they doing out there? But it's allowed, it's permitted. So with these kids, our second year playing, we were in the playoffs, and we lost in the championship, but the kids were crying, they were upset. I try to let them know that, look how far we got in this short period of time. We got to work hard for the next year. We know we really want it, so we need to go out there and work at it. And that was in '76 when I didn't win the MVP. My mom said, you got to work at it, work harder, something you need to do to keep more consistency. So that panned out. But she said 3 things to impart to these kids. Number 1, follow your dream, stay focused, and be ready for the opportunity. And all those 3 are very important, but being ready for the opportunity is very important, because sometimes the opportunity come about, but you're not ready. Coach asks you to go out and do your run, and you didn't do it. You're not. And now I remember a game in summer ball. We would have lost the game, but the coach didn't have to stop his kid at third because he was too tired to get there. By the time he got to third base, he was tired. So every time after practice, I have the kids, you got to run the bases. Run the bases? What do you mean run the bases? I thought this was baseball. I said, yep, it's all part of the game. You got to be able to go out there and run. So things that my mom instilled in me is trying to let that speak through me when I go out there and work with the kids and life overall. It's amazing. Some things that you say to somebody would perk them up. So you're always striving to get better in whatever you do. But the thing that I always love to impart to everybody is that sometimes we get so caught up in how different we are. You should focus on what a great difference we can make, what a great positive difference we can make in the lives of others, and not only say your kids, your family, but the lives of others. So being able to go out there and play and coach these kids, it's stimulating to me. And when I'm out there, I'm telling the kids, you're going to get 30 swings each. And they're like, this old guy, he can't throw that long. So after a while, I could hear them after 10 swings, breathing hard. And they ready to get out of the batting cage. I said, no, 5 more. After 5 more, I said, 5 more. And they said, what do you mean by 5 more? We're already done 10 more. So I learned to say 5 more good swings. But it is great out there to be able to work with these kids and see the enthusiasm and when they go out there and do well. And last but not least, this story, when I was coaching with the Reds, this kid, he wasn't a kid, I guess. Well, compared to my age, he's a kid. So he went up to the plate, and the pitcher threw a ball inside and jammed him. And he came back to the dugout and said, next time up, look for a fastball in. He looked at me like, what do you know? So the first pitch, fastball in, he hit a home run. He comes back to the dugout looking at me like, dilly dilly. But it's just being able to impart experience I had in the game and the experience I have in life. I feel it's going to be a boost for others. And everybody here can be a life coach and to make a difference in the lives of others. And appreciate you coming out here tonight and say dilly dilly.
One more time for George Foster.